Thanks so much for tuning in to this First Alert Weather Plus extended forecast. I'm Audrielle Tackett. Let's talk about what's on the way for the second half of this work week, the last few days of January altogether. Now, we saw snow early Wednesday morning, did not linger into the afternoons. It was a quick round, but Thursday we could see a similar pattern, a quick and light shot of snow flurries early Thursday morning. It will be even quicker and lighter than what we saw on Wednesday, so not too many people may see those flurries early Thursday morning, but they still may arrive. Now, the weekend ahead is going to be dry and mild as we have a ridge of high pressure that is going to re-amplify across the region. A small disturbance may come in early next week, even as early as the end of the weekend, so Sunday night. That's going to bring us a chance of some mountain showers. Now, if we look at our setup as of Wednesday, middle of the day, Wednesday afternoon, you can see that our purple jet stream right here is generally ridging. However, there is a little bit of a dip in the jet stream that came with our cold front. Some minor troughing helped trigger those snow flurries that we saw early on Wednesday. And we can see that here again replicated in our upper level pattern, primarily a ridge over the region, but this little dip in the jet stream did help bring that minor disturbance. Now, the ridge is going to re-amplify by Thursday and through the end of the work week, even into the weekend. That's going to be the main weather feature, that ridge of high pressure, keeping things calm, mild, and dry for the most part through Sunday. But then by Sunday evening into Monday, the beginning of the next work week and the start of February, we have another dip in the jet stream coming into the picture, some minor troughing. That's going to bring another disturbance to the area. That's what could trigger some of those mountain showers. So looking at the temperature trend over the next several days to close out the month of January, this is for Boise. You can see that temperatures will slowly climb all the way through the weekend. We're getting close to the 50s on Saturday and Sunday. This is that pattern of temperatures increasing as the ridge of high pressure continues to build and just keep things really quiet in the lower elevations at least. And then by Sunday and Monday, that minor disturbance comes in, maybe drops our temperatures ever so slightly. It's not going to be a big change, but enough to just break down our ridge of high pressure temporarily. This is for the west central mountains over the next 5 days, and you can see that the pattern repeats in the mountains as well. Temperatures just won't be as warm as the lower elevations, but temperatures do increase all the way through the weekend. By Sunday, when that disturbance comes into the picture, drops temperatures just a few degrees to start off the month of February, that is. High temperatures nationwide on Saturday. This is when we're still increasing with that ridge of high pressure, still warming up as we have southwesterly flow. Boise expecting a high of the upper 40s, 47 on Saturday. The West Coast looking pretty mild for temperature as well. Los Angeles, Southern California reaching the upper 70s. The upper Midwest, though, still has that really cool Arctic air into the picture. This Arctic air has lingered ever since the storm in the past weekend, so they're not warming up just yet. High temperatures on Saturday. Minneapolis expecting to stay in the teens. A lot of the spots in the upper Midwest for those major cities staying in the 20s. St. Louis looking at a high of 15. The East Coast probably topping out in the 20s this weekend on Saturday afternoon as well. When that disturbance comes into the picture locally for the Northwest in the beginning of February, you can see it gives us a very minor, very slight chance of showers on Monday. This is for the Treasure Valley. So Boise, maybe a 10% chance of seeing some precipitation on Monday. That's very close to a non-existent chance. And then by Tuesday, we are looking at a 0% chance into the middle of next week. So Monday is our maybe slightest possibility of seeing some precipitation in the Treasure Valley. Mountains, on the other hand, we'll have a little bit of a different story. On Thursday, here's that chance of quick flurries that make their way into western Idaho. Once again, this is for the west central mountains, a 30% chance of those snow showers early in the morning, tapering off by the afternoon. That chance for precipitation does remain slightly all the way through the weekend, although very close to a non-existent chance there as well. Monday, that minor troughing comes into the picture. Chances for precipitation are elevated once again in the west central mountains. So those higher elevations, more than a 20% chance at seeing some showers on Monday, but then that chance quickly falls off to essentially nothing by Tuesday and into the middle of next week. In the short-term period, if we see those flurries early Thursday morning in the final days of January, that's going to be our slight chance of seeing that precipitation in the mountains. It's going to be very minimal, so even more minimal than what we saw Wednesday morning. This is what we're looking at for the central mountains and the west central mountains. If any snow accumulates, it would be a trace to half an inch at the most. Half an inch is a little is on the higher end of possibility, and we can see how this will play out. So Wednesday in the middle of the day, those light showers persisting in the central mountains and in far southern Idaho and the Magic Valley. Still seeing a few of those showers lingering on Wednesday afternoon. We could see some fog develop Wednesday night as we have some low stratus, some low clouds, and just that precipitation that came into the picture on Wednesday. But it shouldn't last too long, maybe into the early morning hours on Thursday. This is 7 a.m. Thursday. Snow flurries making their way through eastern Oregon. It will move in the east direction, stretching through mostly the west central mountains and slowly tapering off as they reach the central mountains. There's a chance the Treasure Valley sees a few flurries make their way into the valley floors, but nothing is expected to stick on that front. And then by Thursday afternoon, we're drying out all the way into the weekend. So Twin Falls does have that chance of seeing some snow flurries through early Wednesday afternoon. By Wednesday evening, things are going to be dry. Thursday looking dry for the Magic Valley. Temperatures do climb through the end of the weekend. Twin Falls expecting to hit 50 degrees on Sunday afternoon. That's going to be the warmest day in the next week ahead before that disturbance comes in and then cools us down a little bit once again. Wednesday morning in Boise did consist of first alert weather conditions, but as those snow flurries tapered off by early afternoon, things will be very calm and the first alert conditions do not persist for Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, maybe a few stray flurries are visible in the Treasure Valley, but it's pretty unlikely. Thursday will possibly have some patchy dense fog, as will Friday and Saturday morning. So something to keep in mind on your commutes to work over the next few days to close out the month of January. By the afternoons, we're expecting partly cloudy skies, more sunshine by the time we reach Sunday. Upper 40s for those afternoon highs in Boise, slightly cooling down, maybe a couple degrees by the beginning or middle of next week. Not much precipitation in sight for the week ahead. Thanks so much for tuning into this First Alert Weather Plus forecast. We'll catch you next time.